What is up, everyone? Blaze Knight here, making another video about Dragalia Lost, and it's going to be the 2 year anniversary in literally less than probably 5 hours, about 5.5 hours from now. It'll be the 2nd year anniversary. We'll be getting our new event. We'll be getting our pretty much new everything, new free units, new worm like new event, new characters, new weapon type, which is something else, but this is just gonna be a chill video. Probably gonna go over the digest when it comes out later today. But I mainly wanted to talk about some things that are going on in Dragalia Lost. For the most part, I've been posting a lot in the Reddit. If you've seen the Dragalia Lost Reddit, and I have posted a lot about what the weakest element is, what type of new content people would like to see in Dragalia Lost, and I mainly wanted to talk about that and what we can expect, or what should we, or maybe some of you guys should hope for, or what we should be expecting to get maybe in the 2nd year anniversary. With how long the maintenance is, it's going to be 11 hours, so it's not even going. So from my area, it's going to be until it hits 11. Like I said, um, until the maintenance ends, and for other people, it's not going to be until probably way early later or way earlier. Especially since my side of the world is going to be getting it at night. The other side of the world is probably going to get it probably in the afternoon. So some of the new content that I saw from my Reddit post was mainly over new things regarding harder difficulty content. Since right now, the only thing we have in terms of or what we should expect for new difficult content would be the master difficulties for the Agito raids. Which those aren't going to be hard if you have the correct units for it, and it's very simple as to what you have to do. It's probably going to be more long and tedious than it is going to be difficult for most people. Um, and you're mostly just one and done with them anyway, where you're just going to be going in maybe just to do the dailies once or twice or 3 times a day, and then you're probably just going to be playing or running auto on expert difficulty. Um, and then for what other new content we should expect, or what other difficulty content there should be, would be defensive battles, which probably aren't going to be applicable as a difficult event, or at least a difficult thing in the game. Mind you, that defensive battle is difficult, but obviously, if you have stuff like co-op, it's going to be easy. And right now, we don't have anything too difficult, or anything that is difficult enough to where it like anything that has any suitable reward for that difficult content. For the most part, we just had continuous events where we had to play defensive battles, raids, and etc. And we got pretty much standard rewards, what you would expect from um, just stuff that you would use to power up your units to take on other content. And that's all fine, especially with how Dragalia Lost is going to be having a weapons update where a weapons and wormprint update where we can now equip 5 abilities on characters if you have a 5-star core weapon or 6-star weapon or any other type of 5-star weapon or 6-star weapon, and that you have a lot more places to put your wormprints on aside from just your character. Um, and that now we have a new level of like enhancement to the fact that you like it's going to be really easy for players to get new and older players to like clear difficult content. Like for last year when we I think last year we were first introduced to the Agito that first year. And the only other difficult content we had at that time was uh it was the Master High Dragon Trials, which those were pretty standard in the sense that it was basically just what we were expecting. which was just different AI but the same moves, and maybe a little few extra moves sprinkled in. And for Agito, it was all new, it was different, and then it just progressed slower and slower down to where it now ended up in the same situation that the High Dragon Trials were. So now we're in the sort of sense where now we're missing a lot of the difficulty in the game, especially since you can tell when when you can tell in the build up from August to the second year anniversary, or the build up to the anniversary itself in general, between the month that we have where it's just dry events, repeats, and filler stuff that we have just to wait for the for the for the year anniversary. And now we're sort of just looking into what could new content be, since now we're just worrying about, oh, are they going to release maybe a collab, a hint towards a new collab or a rerun of collab? Are they going to release a new type of battle style or new content that's going to be more difficult for us, since as we already know that we're going to have a new weapon type, but how good is that weapon type going to be? Obviously, that stuff is going to be found out in testing, data mines, etc. And even when we do get this new typing, it's not going to be if it is going to be, well, it's not going to be, but it is going to be kind of game breaking in a sense that now we have to worry about a whole new tree of weapons, a whole new tree of characters and playstyle, timing of certain actions, the best optimal attack string for them, etc. But that stuff gets found out by the players. What we need right now is something that's going to incentivize player to test out and use those mechanics in something that's difficult, that's going to prove a challenge, to make it so that it's not going to be just like, oh, I'm going to run a random comp and see how far I can get into this content that we already know is difficult for these characters, but something that's going to be difficult for the game entirely. And so my Reddit post dealt with more so new content that people would be interested in seeing, and I posted all. It's been about 3 weeks since I posted that, so I have a lot of stuff that is circulating around in my head. But I'll just go over what I myself wrote. So one of those things is a super battle road. If you know what Dokkan Battle is, a super battle road type of content where you fight multiple bosses in a row. So Dragalia Lost already has that in a sense, with the fact that they have the wave bosses for facility events, but we don't have a standard version of that in a sense for normal content. And for Super Battle Road, it was difficult. You have to fight difficult opponents. You have to use a lot of items to go through and to clear the stage, unless you were like really high geared, high leveled, and had a lot of the best units maxed out. You would have a pretty difficult time. So a super battle road could be a standard version for Jolly Lost. Could be just a standard like multi wave encounter where we fight different bosses each wave. Um, but instead of just having multiple ads that we have to fight that build up to a boss, we fight multiple bosses of different levels. Like for example, we could have a whole Super Battle Road that was, well, a Super Battle Road S game mode where we fight all the dragons, like every single base dragon in a row, and then if you clear it, you get some Wormite or Eldwater, or maybe a lot of dragon skills, or the materials that drop from the normal dragon trials or high dragon trials, and then you can fight the high dragons in a row, so on and so forth. We don't have any mixed elemental content in the game, since the game incentivizes more so mono teams. So having something that's more catered towards a lot of units or a variety of units, um, works pretty well, especially since they're rebalancing a lot of the characters for the other elements, since they're rebalancing the damage mods for every other character that isn't dark, because is so far and away is better than every single other element in the game. Uh, but that's just some type of really difficult content that's more wave based. What about something more streamlined, more something that you don't that's like Mercurial Gauntlet, where you can just stop when you get to a certain level instead of just having to complete it all in one go, which many people probably wouldn't be able to do. In a sense, we could have something similar to what we've already been that a lot of people were thinking we're going to be in the first year, and even I myself stated this, I believe, in my first year speculations video. Um, that maybe we can have a dungeon content, something that we can play and it's randomly generated and it has multiple layers to it, and it's like Mercurial Gauntlet where we get a lot of rewards. But instead of just having what Mercurial Gauntlet has, it can give us what the Adventure Pass was when that was introduced to us, where I think it was during the half year anniversary, they introduced us with an Adventure S Pass, I believe. I believe that's what it was called, and you completed certain quests, and you would get things like tickets, 10 full tickets, summon vouchers, um, word mine, and so on. So that's kind of what people want as well. So all in all, I would like to see what you guys think. Leave your comments down below in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Keep on keeping on.